What keeps you going when times get rough? What makes you still get up in the morning when everything else is against you? I think whenever I get to my lowest, the conclusion that I always come to is nothing matters. And that can be either like really relieving or just like you fall into like a state of lethargy, like you see no point in doing anything and all energy kind of just diminishes. And yeah, you can go like two ways from that. It's kind of like nothing matters. So, just have as much fun as possible. But the alternative, and usually the one that I fall into most, is nothing matters. So you just fall into a pit of despair, basically. In terms of the thing about getting up in the morning and just basically just plodding on with life, I think you basically have to find something that you love so much that you pretty much go insane from it, and like it consumes all your life. Because that kind of nothing matters is always going to be there, like the sun's going to explode. The dinosaurs were just chilling. They didn't have existential crises. They were just having a good time, and then they got wiped out. Who's to say that it won't happen to us? That took a turn. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, why is there a bird in the chimney thing? You basically just have to find something that you love so much that nothing matters, which is always there. It's always lingering. It's just how close it gets to the it's just a case of keeping it at bay, basically. And sometimes, like, I don't have the answer to the question because it's always going to be there. So just find the thing that you love so much that it engrosses all of your life and that nothing matters disappears. I think that's what the point of like leaving a legacy is. And even though like you'll live on through your work because other people will consume it, eventually like everything's gonna be forgotten. That's not a good answer. For me, I think the thing that I want to do more than anything is comedy to whatever capacity. And I think I think that's just because how my brain is wired, because I feel like I communicate best with people through jokes, which probably says a lot about me as a person. I don't know how to people. They're like jokes they're beautiful, and I would imagine it's the same for like painters or filmmakers. Like that's the best way that they express themselves. This is a really long-winded answer, but I think it's the same thing. So just find the thing that you love so much that nothing matters disappears. And you gotta get down in the dumps, and you'll probably have times where you're just sat there being sad and depressed, and I don't know, you just gotta keep it at bay. You just gotta I'm sorry, man, I don't have the answer. Don't we all wish we did, though? Well, the next question is... When I said that I was going to do the explaining video while I'm doing the Q&A, I filmed it and it looked a little bit like this. I don't even know if this video is, like, worth being made, to be honest. So... Listen, just read it. It's just a good time. There's jokes. Did I say that? I'm really trying to sell this hard. Just please, man. How tall are you? I think about like 5'9". It's not over 6 foot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what? There's nothing I could do about it. Like, my parents didn't love me enough. That's why I didn't grow as tall as I should. Biggest inspiration comedy-wise. I don't know, because I think I only really started watching stand-up about a year and a half ago, maybe. Like, up until then, I hadn't even watched, like, Chris Rock or Chappelle or Louis C.K., who I booked tickets for yesterday, and I'm excited. Which is cool, and that's, Louis C.K.'s on the 3rd day of Sitsi, so it'll be 3 days of summer in the city, and then Louis C.K. It's a good time. Anyway, who else? The most recent person that I found that I enjoy is Bill Burr, because he's kind of like, He's the people's champion to me, but he doesn't pander to people. Like, he introduces something and then the crowd kind of rears back and it's like, oh, this is about to be bad. But then he pulls them along with them and is like, see, this is why I'm right. I think that's really good. And I like to do that as well. Like, have people a bit, oh, where's this gonna go? But without a doubt, the first time that I was like, holy fucking shit, this is the closest thing I've ever had to a religious experience, was watching Bo Burnham's What, because up until then I'd only seen like stand-up comedians on TV, of course, like in passing, but they weren't really telling jokes, they were just being relatable, and it's like, is this comedy though? But really, no, in my mind, there's like comedians who are like, here's the stuff about the world and society that's horrible, but they flip it in a way that's funny. So it's kind of like, it alleviates kind of pressure and fear in a way because it turns it into a joke. And then there are joke tellers, which is these, you know, the relatable people. Like, I don't know. And I don't really know how, I'm new to creating things in general, so I'm not quite sure how to use inspiration necessarily either. I don't know. I'm sorry? If you could erase one song from the world forever, what would it be? The Sound of Silence, that's the one that's Hello Darkness My Old Friend, because anytime something mildly bad happens, it wouldn't just autoplay in my mind, you know. Like, I don't know, you drop a tea bag on the floor, it just play, it's not even that bad. What's your favourite flavour of bleach? Probably Mr. Muscle because of the protein. Because Mr. Muscle and protein... I'm so upset. Do you have any particularly superficial preferences in whomever you're interested in, whether it be a relationship or friendship? Not really. As long as they have a pulse, like, I'm down, basically. And sometimes that doesn't even matter, you know what I mean? Shout out to the necrophiliacs. Don't Google that. That was a joke, by the way. Like, I'm not really a Katguts asks, I said the name like that because she does Japanese stuff on it. You should go and watch it, it's good. Katguts asks, do you work or study? If so, what do you do? I don't work because I'm trying to fulfill the stereotype that black males don't work because they're lazy. And I study I study media and creative writing. Why? Because, again, I don't want to be employed. Like, I thought about the prospect of having a job and I was like, nah. I just, yeah. I think there was another question about it as well, but do you have a certain goal for this channel as far as the number of subscribers? Not really. It would be cool if the channel grew, but like, it's really difficult nowadays. Well, it's always been difficult, but you know, I don't know. If we're being real, like, not something that big's probably not gonna come of the channel, but I don't know, as long as I'm still having fun with it, then I'll continue to do it. And if the channel grows, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of quality control in YouTube content, specifically those YouTubers that manipulate clickbait, recent topics, pranks, etc.? I mean, YouTube is almost in the business of just grabbing people's attention. Like, the content doesn't necessarily have to be good, and I would like to think, I don't think this is the case, but I would like to think that most people are smart enough to be able to deduce when something is clickbait or not. Like, when the title is, oh my god, I almost died, or is got titties in the thumbnail, like, if you can't tell that it's clickbait, what are you doing? Were you playing at? How does one revise for exams without procrastinating? Also, any music recommendations? Alright, so A-levels broke me as a person, so I'm not the best person to go to. Do your family/friends know you do YouTube? And if so, how do they react when they found it? Apart from one of my brothers, none of my family knows that I do it. Some university friends know that I do it, and that went down much more well. That's not even, I was gonna say weller, that's not it went down better than I anticipated, and they approved of them. Not that that matters. I think there was whereabouts in the UK do you live? Southwest London-ish area. It used to be in the West Midlands, but then I moved for university. Oh shit, there was music recommendations a while ago. I'll link some people in the description, and there'll be like quite a variety, because I like quite a variety of things, from your raps and your hip hops to your rock and post-hardcore, and there'll be some Japanese stuff in there for good measure, because I'm a massive weeb. So if you like or have heard of like Childish Gambino, or Tyler the Creator, or Watsky, or Chance the Rapper's new mixtape's pretty good as well. That'll satisfy your rap stuff. And if you like rock kind of stuff, there'll be some like... Can you not, please? I'm trying to film it. I don't come to your job. This isn't a job, but you know, it's the principle. Oh, and then for your rock things like Panic at the Disco, which is more pop punk. So Panic at the Disco, like Issues. How old are you? 20. How do you do your hair? Badly. Favorite TV shows? I haven't kept up to date with TV. I don't watch that much stuff. The only thing that I can recommend in recent memory is like Rick and Morty, which is the greatest animated comedy I've ever fucking seen. It's great. You should watch it. If you don't like it, we're not friends. Like, just get out. And then even when it comes to like anime and things, I start so many things and it's like, oh, I enjoyed that, never finish it though. But the most recent anime that I've seen and enjoyed thus far and I'm keeping up with is an anime called My Hero Academia, which is about a kid that goes to school to become a superhero. So if that sounds up your alley, have a look. I don't know how I feel about anime recently. It's just the fan service weirds me out, man. Like, this girl is clearly 12 years old. I don't need to see. It's weird. Like, I think there were a few questions about like YouTubers I look up to or like and things like that. So to kind of just put them all in a, I think my favorite YouTubers at the minute are Kick the PJ, because he's fucking great. Like, he's like a weirdo person like me. And he's does creative things. Like, if you want a good example of how unique and do it yourself kind of YouTube can be, he's a good example for that. I think Anna O'Connor has pretty much mastered how to make good internet videos. Like, because they're short and informative and funny, and the production value is really high. Casey Neistat, obviously. Like, I had to start watching Casey Neistat's videos because they were too good. Like, there were parts where I just got angry and just like yeah. I like Tom Scar, and I met him. I think the first time when I found someone that was like, this is what YouTube is, or this is what I've been looking for, rather, is The Third Pew, because comedy, satire, it's great. I just like jokes, and I think some people mentioned William Haynes as well. I just like jokes. Like, I think it's partly because of how I was first introduced to YouTube and what YouTube was initially as like I don't know, it seemed like YouTube in the beginning was kind of like trying to emulate TV, whereas now YouTube has its own YouTubey thing, and I like making a thing that's separate to me, but I'm still kind of in it, if that makes sense. And I think doing like what I would call a comedic monologue type of thing is the best that I could do for that. And he does that kind of thing as well, where we just tell jokes instead of being relatable. Oh, when Bay, so, like, what are you? I don't know, man. What's your opinion of supposedly controversial YouTubers like Leafy and Onision? Do you think they have a place on this platform? Yeah, I suppose. People like drama. They like... You know how everybody has that void in their soul? For a brief period of time, drama satisfies that. So... And isn't... What is it? I don't know. When it comes... Like, YouTube drama sounds so bootleg to me. Like... It just sounds fucking gross. Like, what? Like, other celebrities get... Oh, then again, there's Bill Cosby. He's, like, a piece of shit. Like, YouTubers... It's always a fucking sex thing because people don't know boundaries, apparently. Were you playing at, pal? I don't know. I feel like the audiences for, like, the drama things is, like, prepubescent boys that... are just angry that their mom didn't pre-order them the new Call of Duty in time. Like, I don't know. Lonster asks, you should subscribe to her because she makes good videos too. What inspires you? I don't know. I like jokes. I don't know how to use inspiration yet. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm sorry. And what is your dream project? I would like to do stand-up at some point, but I've never performed it because anxiety. If I could write like a show as well, that would be cool. But yeah, mainly stand-up. But you know, actually have to do it, so... I just like jokes, man. Jokes are great. It's been a year since my first upload, is what I would have said about 2 weeks ago had I actually done the Q&A in time. But just thanks for sticking around and watching. I wanted to do this since like October as a way to actually introduce myself apart from like scripted things, and I want to do more of it. I still want to do the scripted things, but I like these. I like more low-key. I like watching other people do these more low-key videos, and so I would only assume... It's like, I don't view myself as a particularly interesting person, which is probably why I'm more reluctant to do these kinds of things, but if you enjoy it, then I'll do more of them. I still want to do a focus more on comedy jokes and things though, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks. I feel like I've walked into like a gold mine because everyone's been pleasant. Like, I think I've received like one negative comment, and that was just some guy telling me to get a haircut, which like I still haven't done. So who's really winning? Not me, because the only reason why I haven't got a haircut is because I'm incredibly poor. This has been a fun time. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully I can upload more regularly, but sometimes, you know, the darkness becomes alright, fucking My Chemical Romance something or other. Thanks for leaving questions. I was almost worried that I wouldn't have enough and it would have been a bad time, but it was a good time. And I hope you had a good time too. Why am I so fucking fidgety? Thanks for watching. See you in the future. And I do just want to reiterate that that whole giving to a vegan homeless man thing was a joke. And you should have known that because I would never give to the homeless.